We are less than 2 months away from the next update for Unbound. How to scare Need for Speed developers. And my friends, it is going to be the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit update. How do I know this? Do you remember they released a roadmap of what we can expect, and Hot Pursuit is the next one. Hot Pursuit inspired. But you may know that I'm not particularly a fan of Hot Pursuit, but with the whole Kaizen system, it really made me think about something. Need for Speed is a game about cops versus race. What the? Cops versus racers. But it doesn't and hasn't had for a really long time a cops and robbers mode. That might be one of the most bizarre things to actually think about. A cops and robbers game doesn't have a cops and robbers mode. Huh? So this video, I'm basically going to lay out what I expect to see and what I want to see with this update, just to add some extra pressure to them so they get it right. So my opinion, some good news is that they actually have a little bit more pressure from the fact that the crew is also doing its own cops and robbers mode. We don't know exactly how it's going to go. It looks like it's going to be a bit more childish, to be honest, but it's added pressure nonetheless that they've got to get this done better. So of course we already have cops and robbers in the game in one way, but I really want to see the opposite. It's just a fun game mode. I'm all about gameplay. We need more gameplay types, and a simple cops and robbers mode just sounds awesome. Whether it be an event in where half of the racers, or half of the players are racers and half of the players are chasers. Maybe they have to use the default cop cars. Maybe they have the ability to respawn close proximity. It's basically the mode exactly as it is now, when you could do it with players. Another idea is that there's just specifically a racer takedown event. So like in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, there's a team of, well, the players, which is the police cars, and there's a racer that you all have to take down. That just sounds incredibly fun. It just doesn't ruin the game. It's part of the game. You don't have to partake in that if you don't want to. But let's be honest, with a combination, I think, of being able to go in and customize your police car, or customize any car and actually just go onto the roof and then add a light bar, for example, it just adds a major missing element that I hated about Hot Pursuit. I didn't hate Hot Pursuit as it was. I just hated that it took away something that was so important to me, is that's the customization, the performance modification. That's why I think Rivals is a step above and better than Hot Pursuit. Making your own custom cop cars of basically any car in the game would be amazing, and of course having a game mode specific for that is kind of required. We also already have Gauntlet Races, which is basically races with police chases involved in it, in where you basically got to try and not die the whole time. Thank you, Biggin. I would say I'd love to see more Gauntlets, but gonna be honest, it's probably the event playlist that people play the least. Maybe actually the normal drift events that play the least, but second least now. I think there's got to be something a little bit different about it. I don't quite know what, but definitely a remix, change them, improve them in a way, because they definitely kind of need to exist in a Hot Pursuit update. Maybe an endurance variant of this. That would actually be pretty tense, as it increases the heat as you actually go through the race. I quite like that idea. So it doesn't make sense to just talk about the Hot Pursuit update while playing Need for Speed Unbound, because there's not really much Hot Pursuit in it right now. However, what if we jump into the actual Hot Pursuit? I cut the music. I'm sorry for blue balling you, but YouTube. We've got to jump through this game and see exactly what this had to offer that could provide, well, future updates. Again, this was made by Criterion. It's very different than the Criterion it is now, but this was the career mode of Hot Pursuit, and it's a bit shallow. Jumping in from memory, what we basically had is a bunch of events that you could partake in. You had Hot Pursuit, you had Rapid Response, Interceptor. Rapid Response was just time trials, so that's just completely pointless. You got normal races, Hot Pursuit, time trials. They're just called time trials when it's races. I think what we definitely need to see, no question, is maybe it's a big ass to put bull bars and cop lights on every car, but I think just having the cop lights that maybe you could put on most cars to make, for example, this has nothing realistically other than the little lights in the front and the roof light. I have just remembered something that this game has, that Hot Pursuit has, that I'm not exactly sure I would want to see. This might be a pain point. This might be the first worry of mine. When it comes to Hot Pursuit, you've got weapons. Now, right now, I've only got the block, which quite frankly does nothing. I'm a little bit worried about the idea of weapons returning, because people are going to want to use them in free roam, and then it's going to become GTA Online, right? That's the worst of GTA Online. I like GTA Online. I know a lot of people praise the handling model and stuff on this game, but I like the weight of the cars. It's not my cup of tea overall. Come on, piss on it. But yeah, maybe a block. Calling a roadblock wouldn't be that bad. I think as long as they keep it quite sensible, calling a helicopter, calling in a roadblock, I wouldn't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. I just don't really like the idea of the EMPs. Oh, maybe the spike. It's a difficult area, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think of that. Where you I personally think they've got to be quite careful as to not piss off the underground racer people, because I don't want my cruising drifting experience ruined by insane players like in Need for Speed Rivals. As much as sometimes it's kind of fun to just absolutely bully people, it's not nice. And of course, Burnout Paradise, the other Criterion masterpiece, pure masterpiece. Love this thing so much. I prefer Burnout 2, but masterpiece nonetheless. So Burnout Paradise actually got its own cop DLC, which was super cool. They added about, what, 35 cars. I really don't miss crash cameras. Every time I jump back to a game like this, I'm like, you know, as much as it was fun. Anyway, so basically the Cops and Robbers mode on this added a, well, Cops and Robbers mode, and then you could use the police cars in the free roam and drive around and do the Burnout things. It's a more simplistic thing, but well, I guess it inspired them to make cops or become the studio. They played with cop stuff, and if anything, I think this might have some of the best cop stuff, personally. So in this game, you drive into a garage, and then you can look through all the vehicles. There's a cop-specific category, and I said there's 35 cop vehicles available, ranging from trucks to muscle cars to kind of all the range. The thing with Burnout Paradise, though, again, they were a bigger studio at this point, but at the same time, because there's no customization, it's quite easy for them to just slap lights on it and maybe some bull bars and basically be done with it. In terms of Need for Speed, I don't think we're going to get to this level, at least in this game. But in the future, honestly, if they add this is something I would love to remain. They've just really got to be careful they don't ruin the free roam just experience. I think there's ways they could do it, but again, we'll talk more about that when it comes to the next game. We're talking about this game for now. So as someone that was kind of disappointed by the Underground League, I think there's some improvements they could make with it. So this was the Racer X car. It was fine, it's cool, it's enjoyable. But with this cop update, I don't want to see just more racers. What I think would be a really sick idea, for those that don't know, as you go through these ones with the cars, you can unlock their cars when you go against the AI in the game. They've added AI in the game. I would love to see maybe an outrun style event on these 1v1s. And on the 1v1s, you should unlock all the different variants of cop cars available in the game currently. That would be so sick and a super cool use of, well, my time, because I want to use those cop cars. The amount of times people want to do Cops and Robbers and free roam and stuff, and having a Cops and Robbers update surely just makes sense, right? So start with the more basic units. He should be racer number 2, or cop number 2 that we have to try and outrun or take down or something to unlock their vehicle. And then the last one, the Racer X of this update, should be something a little bit more cool, unique, something that is built custom. Hell, just put the police lights on the Corvette Kaisel car like that was available in Need for Speed Heat Unite, in the Unite mod. We know it's possible. They should do it. Getting cops after me in a drift car was probably not my smartest move, and the countdown is... I'm in danger. I've also got to make it clear that I would love to see these be able to be customized. I know livery alone would be pretty cool, but being able to still put some of the body modifications on these cars with the cop lights would be super sick. I would love that. And that way with these, you would get all the bull bars and everything along with it. I am very much in danger. Now, in terms of cars added, usually we get 2. We're going to have 1 free and 1 paid. At least one of those. I want to see some more JDM. I love estates. I mean, I love muscle cars, but it would be nice to see, and I think everyone would probably agree here, the R33 come to the game. It just would complete the trio of the best Skyline. No, okay, I'm gonna shot for that, but you know what I'm saying. And a final couple of points that I think are probably some of the most significant, because free roam, I love free roam. Free roam is my thing. PvP, I do it because I have to do it. I do it because I want to unlock stuff to use in free roam. So I want to see something new in free roam, just kind of like link ups, maybe a variant of search. So think about on the map, for example, all of a sudden an area appears and everyone rushes to there, and it's just a big cop takedown event. Hell, it could be cops versus racers, as in people, or it could just obviously be the AI and people versus the AI cops. Whatever. It could just be a round-based system in where you try and take those cops out of that area, and maybe for a while, the cops in the city just completely disappear. You get some reward for partaking in the events, and then everyone just moves on for the next 30 minutes or so. There's no cops available in free roam. I don't know. I think that's something like that would be kind of fun. Or the more extreme side of things, we could have a marked man style event. You know I love my marked man events. To clarify, this has to be consensual. It's a weird word choice for that, but you know what I mean. I don't want people to just randomly be targeted and attacked. I don't want a Need for Speed rival situation, because even I was encouraged to bully people for no reason in that game. But a thing in where a player starts an event, for example, and then everyone in the session will be rewarded for going after that person and taking them out. Maybe like they've picked up something, or they've picked up a special car that they have to run across and get across. You know, I just thought of a big brain idea. This is, again, future game. How about when, for example, your car should get impounded if you get arrested too many times in it. If you want to claim it back, you have to run it back to a certain location. And when you do so, the whole game gets informed of what you were doing, and you can stop them. You get rewarded for taking them down and stopping them getting their car. It's a super difficult task to do it, but it's a super rewarding one, because that way your car gets impounded, but you can get it back. But also you get big money. And essentially, I think what we're deciding, what we found out in today's video, is that I should clearly be on the creative team, and they should pay me all the money so I can fix my garage. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know your opinions down below. Anything you agree with, disagree with, and of course anything you want to see. And check out this video if you want more Need for Speed.